Hey, Moshe.
Hi.
We are live. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, let's just start this.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for
Hey,
joining
Rachel.
us.
Yaron, hi.
Good to see everyone. We have a new format for you. We're trying to get creative. In 8 weeks into quarantine, we figured got to spice it up a little bit. Got to get a little creative. So we're using a new platform in addition to Zoom, where we appreciate you guys being here so you can be interactive. We are on 8 weeks into quarantine. We figured.
Oh my
gosh. Okay.
I'm just playing on my phone. Okay.
Maybe press share.
Okay.
Okay. So
Watch party.
Yes.
Yes, we did it. Okay, start.
Okay. Good.
Okay, we are going.
You turn that off.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, turn this.
Yeah.
Kind of just like this.
Just get rid of it. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. It's good to see you guys. Nice to see your faces.
Good to see you here.
Have fun.
Thank you all for coming out. It is great to see you. I realize
Okay.
I just can't. If people post on Facebook, I don't know if we can see what they say.
Facebook
So just use this and turn it all the way down, maybe.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, sorry. We're ready to go. Thank you all again. Remember last time, for those of you who were here, we played a game, which was, does something look different about either of us than last time? I believe Moshe guessed correctly last time. Does anyone see anything different about either of us tonight?
Someone got a haircut.
What's up?
Someone got a haircut.
Someone, yeah. Which someone got a haircut?
I think the one with less hair.
That's me. I got a haircut.
Hi, Rose.
I got a haircut by none other than from this lady right here. She's a super talented lady, and I learned
I have so many skills.
a saloonist. Excellent. It was beautiful, and you can see just her great handiwork she did. And I was debating, and I just can't take it anymore. So got a haircut. Moshe, I see you give yourself a little trim, or no? You just okay? Because yesterday you were telling me you thought you'd let it go, but you couldn't. You're looking great. You are looking great with that beard, and I think I'm looking pretty great with my beard too. So
you guys are rocking it.
We are beard buddies. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So for our first activity, we're talking about communication tonight. So for our first activity, I want to give a shout out to Kayla Schwartz for teaching us this. And this is something that we call Bricks for Kids. Okay. This is the Bricks for Business game, right, Kayla? Okay. So we each have the same Legos, and we're going to do a little demonstration. Tonight's
talk, by the way, or tonight's episode of Live from the Bunker, episode 6, is all about communication. And Kayla taught us this amazing game in which we work on our communication skills. And I think we were both humbled last time when we played it.
Yeah.
It was very, very, very humbling. But you want to explain how it works?
Okay, so basically, Danny's going to go first, and he's going to build something with these Legos and Mega Bricks, actually, and blocks. They're all different ones. And anyways, he's going to build with these, and then he's not going to show me, and he's going to instruct me what to do, and I'm going to try to build the same thing, okay? So I'm not going to look. Why don't you just build something really quick, and then maybe you'll, turn to the side, okay?
Okay. So I'm just going to play with my Legos here, and I'm going to build. And then we're going to describe to Sarah what we do. Should I tell you as I go, or first I got to build it?
Build it.
Okay. So you see here? Oh boy. Okay. Okay. This is really stressful. I'm really, really stressing out. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Come on.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. Here's what I built. Okay. Here's what I built. I will now describe it to my lovely, amazing wife. Okay. So, love.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to see.
Don't see. I'm turned away. Away. Okay. I'm going to show them. Okay.
Okay. So here's what I got. I'm going to do it right up here. Okay.
Okay. So take the purple one.
Okay.
And that should be in your left on the bottom.
Okay.
And then take the pink one and put it right next to it.
Okay.
And then in front, take the little like blue guy, the two pronged like blue Lego.
Okay.
And then right behind that, put the two pronged yellow Lego. And then on top of that two pronged yellow Lego, put the large like 4-pronged red one on the back, resting right in the middle, right? So the middle two of the red should be right on the yellow, and then that beautiful blue single-pronged one should be all the way on the left.
Is it the same? Oh my gosh, it's the same.
Wow.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, that's crazy.
So funny. Okay. So just to comment on this, we practiced last night, and in practicing last night, it was kind of hilarious because when Danny,
please,
okay. When Danny told me what to do, he was like, "Okay, you have the pink and the purple. Put the pink on the bottom and the purple on the bottom." So then I was thinking, like, what do you mean? Like, which one goes on the bottom? Okay, he just said, and then he said, put the red one connecting them. So I was like, do I put it like on the front, on the back? Like, I didn't really know what to do. But after that, we kind of like talked about how funny it was that I really didn't know where to put the Legos. And you just see here that it's a world of a difference after we practiced. So I just find that really interesting that we communicated after that, like what works, what I had questions about, and now we got it. That wasn't even planned. Like we didn't even know that we were going to match up like that. Okay, next.
We had no idea. Okay, and it is we've literally done this like probably 10 times, and we've never got it right until tonight.
It's true.
And it's not like we just like scripted it or cheated. We didn't, and we literally never got it right before. So
we always like laughed about how like incompatible our communication was with each other with this exercise.
So communication takes a lot of work, and thank God we're getting better, and it could be frustrating. I remember the first time we ever did this.
Yeah.
It was, I'm like, why can't you just listen to me?
When we did this on our little retreat, Alex. Legos. Oh,
we have a visitor.
Hi, Katie. Okay, next.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little about communication. In order to do that, ready, love? We are staying on schedule tonight.
Yes, we are.
That means it's 8:11.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's do this, yeah?
Let's do it, yeah.
Okay, so there's this cute little skit. Hi, Paulina. Good to see you. There's this cute little skit. So we're just going to go through this skit and act it out.
It's all about communication. I know I've shared this with some of you before. Ooh. Okay.
Do you want to do it without me? And I'll just,
come back.
And the girl?
Yeah.
Okay. He's a really good actor, and we have a dirty diaper to deal with. So I'm going to be right back, and he can do both because he's really talented.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking care of this, my love. That's really nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, Sarah was meant to help me with the acting part of this, but I'm going to have to act it out. Some of you I know who've come to Schmorg have seen this before, but I think it's so important that it's worth repeating. And it's just, like I said, it's one of the fundamentals to understanding communication. And here we go. This is a skit by Dave Barry, the comedian. Let's say a guy named Roger is attracted to a woman named Elaine. He asks her out to a movie. She accepts. They have a pretty good time. A few nights later, he asks her out to dinner, and again, they enjoy themselves. They continue to see each other regularly, and after a while, neither one of them is seeing anybody else. They're going steady. That's my own addition. And then one evening when they're driving, a thought occurs to Elaine. Without really thinking, she says it out loud. Do you realize that as of tonight, we've been seeing each other for exactly 6 months? And then there's silence in the car. To Elaine, it seems like a very loud silence. She thinks to herself, geez, I wonder if it bothers him that I said that. Maybe he's been feeling confined by our relationship. Maybe he thinks I'm trying to push him into some kind of obligation that he doesn't want or isn't sure of. And Roger's thinking, gosh, 6 months. And Elaine is thinking, but hey, I'm not so sure I want this kind of relationship. Some kind of obligation he doesn't want or isn't sure of either. Sometimes I wish I had a little more space so I'd have more time to think about whether I really want us to keep going the way we are, moving steadily toward, where are we going? Are we just going to keep seeing each other at this level of intimacy? Are we heading toward marriage, towards children, towards a lifetime together? Am I ready for that level of commitment? Do I really even know this person? And Roger's thinking, So that means, let's see. It was February when we started going out, which was right after I had the car at the dealer's, which means, let me check the odometer. Whoa! I am way overdue for an oil change over here. And Elaine is thinking, he's upset. I can see in his face, maybe I'm reading this completely wrong. Maybe he wants more from a relationship, more intimacy, more commitment. Maybe he sensed, even before I sensed it, that I was feeling some reservations. Yes, I bet that's it. That's why he's so reluctant to say anything about his own feelings. He's afraid of being rejected. And Roger's thinking, I'm going to have them look at the transmission again. I don't care what those morons say. It's not shifting right. And they better not try to blame it on the cold weather this time. What cold weather? It's 87 degrees out. And this thing is shifting like a garbage truck. And I paid those incompetent thieves $600. And Elaine is thinking, he's angry. And I don't blame him. I'd be angry too. Gosh, I feel so guilty putting him through this. But I can't help the way I feel. I'm just not sure. And Roger's thinking, they'll probably say it's only a 90-day warranty. That's exactly what they're going to say, those jerks. And Elaine is thinking, maybe I'm too idealistic, waiting for a night to come riding on his white horse when I'm sitting right next to a perfectly good person, a person I enjoy being with, a person I truly do care about, a person who seems to truly care about me, a person who is in pain because of my self-centered schoolgirl romantic fantasy. And Roger's thinking, warranty? They want a warranty? I'll give them a gosh darn warranty. I'll take their warranty and just, you know what I'll do with it. Roger, Elaine says out loud. What? Says Roger, startled. Please, don't torture yourself like this, she says, her eyes beginning to brim with tears. Maybe I should have. Oh gosh, I feel so. What? Says Roger. I'm such a fool, Elaine sobs. I mean, I know there's no night. I know that. It's silly. There's no night. There's no horse. There's no horse, says Roger. You think I'm a fool, don't you? Elaine says. No, says Roger, glad to finally know the correct answer. It's just that I need some more time, Elaine says. There's a 15-second pause while Roger, thinking as fast as he can, tries to come up with a safe response. Finally, he comes up with one that he thinks might just work. Yes, he says. Elaine, deeply moved, touches his hand. Oh, Roger, do you really feel that way? She says. What way? Says Roger. The way about time. Oh, says Roger, yes. Elaine turns to face him and gazes deeply into his eyes.
You're doing such a good job.
Thank you.
I don't want to ruin it.
Causing him to become very nervous about what she might say next, especially if it involves a horse. At last, she speaks.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, says Roger. Then he takes her home and she lies in her bed, a conflicted, tortured soul, and weeps until dawn. Whereas when Roger gets back to his place, he opens a bag of Doritos, turns on the TV, and immediately becomes deeply involved in a rerun of a tennis match between two Czechoslovakians he never heard of. The tiny voice in the far recess of his mind tells him that something major was going on back there in the car, but he's pretty sure there's no way he would ever understand what, and so he figures it's better if he doesn't think about it. Also, by the way, his policy on world hunger. The next day, Elaine will call her closest friend, or perhaps two of them, and they will talk about the situation for 6 straight hours in painstaking detail. They will analyze everything she said and everything he said, going over time and time again, exploring every word, expression, and gesture for nuances of meaning. Considering every possible ramification, they will continue to discuss this subject off and on for weeks, maybe months, never reaching any definite conclusions, but never getting bored with it either.
So what's so great about this skit is that it's so real.
Yes, it is.
So real.
Meanwhile, by the way, we didn't finish. One last line. Roger, while playing racquetball one day with a mutual friend of his and Elaine's, will pause just before serving, frown, and say, Norm, did Elaine ever own a horse? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Okay. So, communication. First of all, do you want to ask this question?
Yes. Okay. Excellent. So, again, we're trying to make this a little bit more interactive than we've had in the past, and we want to pose a question to the audience, to you folks on Zoom, and you thousands and thousands of people right now watching on Facebook. And if you're watching this later, like another thousands and thousands will do, you can vote also. Okay. Here's the question. Sarah and I first get married. Okay, it's like literally maybe like day 8 of our married life, and Sarah's feeling bold, and she decides to make my mama's delicious homemade macaroni and cheese. It's not like the kind you get in a box. It's like you make it and you kind of turn it into mac and cheese, which is very cute.
I've never made any mac and cheese before this ever.
So the truth is, Well, first of all, let's just say theoretically, no, Moshe, not in the microwave. Moshe asked if we made it in the microwave. You bake the mac and cheese, Moshe. That's a great idea. A great idea. Okay, 2 questions. Okay, I need to pose this to the audience. Please respond in Zoom and or on Facebook. Okay, question number 1. Should you? Here's my first question. Should you make nachos in? Because Moshe's alluding to a debate we've had if you should make nachos in a microwave or in an oven. Please post your answers. Yes.
Microwave.
Ricky says from the nest the microwave. Moshe says the oven. Ooh. Okay. Rachel, I knew I liked you, Rachel. Microwave. Yes. Amazing. Okay. I actually am not figuring out oven. Okay. We have an oven, so it's kind of split down the middle. I respect it.
Alex says oven.
Don't
Jason
necessarily
says oven.
A lot of ovens.
Oh, Todd's fancy. Cheese sauce on stovetop.
Ooh. Oh, that's a game changer.
Whoa.
I like that. Okay, fine. So I'm not sure. We believe the answer is microwave, and that seems to be what the nest agrees as well. And there's 3 of them. So we win. Okay. Next question. Sorry.
We could do it.
Okay, let's just say theoretically that these, my mother makes really yummy macaroni. Let's just say the macaroni Sarah made tasted like noodles that were dipped in milk. Just noodles that were nice and delicious noodles.
This was also the first time I ever bought real milk from the store.
Yes.
Like cow's milk.
So here's my question. Should I communicate that with her? The Torah teaches us, midvar sheker tirchak, stay away from lies. On the other hand, the Torah also teaches like you should, get along, shalom bais, marital bliss and harmony is very important. So
should he communicate that it's not so yummy? Or should he ask that we make Mondays macaroni Mondays?
That's a question. Like, yes, sweetie, it was so delicious. Please make it every single Monday for me. Okay, so just type in the chat your thoughts. We'd appreciate your feedback on this. It's an age-old question. Like, how honest do you get?
It's definitely a debate.
Definitely a debate. So I'm going to open the chat. I see. Okay, what do we got there? Yes. Dance around it by saying you want to start eating
Say something
meat again?
in a respectful way.
Yes. Communicate. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Rambam says the middle path. To be honest, but break it to them nicely. Moshe.
I'm not sure what that means.
Okay, very good. Beautiful. Okay, these are great.
Communication is great. Okay, so there's different types of communication in relationships. And one way of communication is you have to communicate love, right? You guys are so funny. Okay, how do you communicate love? So obviously, many people are familiar with love languages. Right, there's 5 love languages. You can look it up, know your love language, know your partner's love language, and communicate love in that way, okay? Other ways to communicate love is, this is actually something I teach when I teach brides before the wedding. This is something I learned from my college teacher training. Oh, she's having a hard time putting her jammy pants on.
I'll help you, sweetheart.
So there's this idea of what you can do in communication. It's a great exercise. Sometimes communicating what you want, sometimes it can be awkward, or uncomfortable, but also you don't want the other person to be on the defense, right? Or you never want to feel defensive when someone criticizes. You never want to feel like it's criticism. So you sit down together every 6 months and you make it an exercise and you each keep a journal just for this. And this is your time. The chat is just firing on Zoom. It's so fun. Okay. So you make it an exercise and you sit down and you communicate things that you like that the other person does, or that maybe we should do differently, but you sit down and you make it an exercise. So it's not just like your wife's in the middle of making dinner and you're like, oh, sweetie, I really liked that time when you made tacos, but like she's making macaroni. So like, maybe that's not the time to communicate that you really do like tacos because she's in the middle working hard trying to make you macaroni. So it creates a time where you sit down and you communicate together. And then you talk about how to feel given to, right? What makes you feel given to? And, okay, that's communicating love. Now, how do we communicate?
And I'll just point out, by the way, and maybe you want to give an example for how to communicate something you love about the other person. Is that what you said? You should communicate, or no?
I don't know.
Maybe not. Okay,
My
sorry.
brain's kind of fried by this hour.
Okay. I just basically wanted you to tell me what you love about me, but that's okay. Now, one thing I think that we were alluding to is it's important to communicate love. And there's actually, if you've never heard of this book, like I believe this is like a game changer. And yes, Todd, listening is as important as communicating, and we're working on that right now. Yeah. I was like distracted putting on the little girl's pants, so that's why I wasn't listening as good, because I was just focused on that task.
Nice.
But
okay.
What I was going to say is, this book is called The 5 Love Languages. It's a tremendous book about communicating love. You know, it's fascinating. I'm not going to go through. I have a whole like class on it, but definitely check out the book. You know, it's a scary thought, because in life we often communicate to others the way that we are communicated to. So, for example, like I understand English, so therefore I communicate English. If I go to Israel and I try to, get something from the store, and I don't speak Hebrew, I'll ask them in English. And if they don't understand me, I'll just ask louder and louder. Like, why don't you understand this? So the same is true, by the way, of love. But the challenge is, like Sarah maybe grew up in the equivalent of China and how she experiences love. It's often how we observe our parents. So she observed, her parents expressing their love through like what's called acts of service. They help each other out a lot. They do all kinds of nice things for each other. And that's how she observed, the expression of love. For me, I might feel loved by, compliment.
Where is Avrami? You want to go find him? Okay.
Go find Avrami. Okay. So I might hear and feel loved a different way. So she might actually do lots of awesome stuff for me, acts of service, because she's expressing her love to me. But if that's not how I feel loved, then we're like missing each other. We're speaking different languages, right? So the challenge is that you have to understand the love language that you speak, and it might be difficult. Like I'm not naturally inclined to do a lot of work around the house, and that might be how she feels loved. So I have to learn that and then learn that language and speak that language. So that's very important, to learn how to communicate love to one another, and it's just a vital, critical thing.
Yeah, there's even a quiz on the website. You can figure out which love language you are if you don't know yet. Okay. Next is people are not prophets. So it's actually happened over Shabbos that one kid was upset about something. So they sat on the couch and they went like this with a big frown.
You can't on Zoom, yeah.
And we were like asking questions, and they're like,
I can't see there, but.
And I'm like, we don't know you why. Like if there's something that's bothering you, like we would love to help you, but we don't know. We can't do that unless you communicate what the issue is. And the same is true as in relationships, that oftentimes, like we said, it's kind of can be awkward or uncomfortable to communicate, especially if there's an issue, and to ignore it, it just builds up inside.
So if there's something like in general that bothers you, right? Let's say, for example, you don't like when, dishes are left on the table, for example, right? So what might happen is every time that you walk past the table and there's dishes on it, you just get more mad, and you just start like, getting worked up, so it might be a better idea to figure out how to, in a healthy way, communicate that frustration, and then you don't have to get all bent out of shape and all upset. Yeah. So it's vital to communicate.
So the best way to do that is, and it's the same in parenting, is through positive, you found him, is through positive reinforcement. So let's say I really want the garbage taken out and it's not taken out. And I'm like, oh, again, the garbage. I'm going to keep my mouth shut until one day he's going to take out the garbage on his way out the door, which doesn't happen much anymore because we don't leave the house. But one day again, he'll be traveling out the door and I'll take the garbage out with him. And I'll find that time and I'll be like, thank you so much for taking out the garbage. That just made my day. Garbage wasn't falling all over the floor and it was so tidy. And I so appreciate it, and I'm going to make a big deal out of it. And next time he walks past the garbage, you sure better know that he's going to be thinking, I wonder if it's time to take it out yet, because I would love to do that again. So positive reinforcement is really, thank you, the best in that. Okay. Next. I'm sorry, it hurts. Okay. Next is, this is really important. Never use the words never or always. Because as soon as you use that language, it can be something very defensive. For example, let's say, just for example, Danny said to me, this didn't really happen, okay? But let's just say he said, you never take the last Oreo. It's like you want me to throw out the package. Then I'd be like, well, I didn't want to take the last Oreo. Maybe I didn't want it. Maybe I was saving it for you. Like, I would automatically feel like defensive, as opposed to if he said, sweetie, why didn't you take the last Oreo? You could have it, right? So that's very different. So that's just one example, but the words never or always, in general, every relationship book would say this also. But I just like that new twist on it, that they put the person in defensive, I think is like interesting and part of the reason why that's the case. Okay.
Yeah.
Next is to communicate in a deep, meaningful way. Sometimes it happens, and I learned this from those of you on Zoom, I'm sure know, who I quote the most when I talk about dating and relationships. I don't know. Raise your hand. Who am I about to quote? Okay.
Rabbi Jack Cohen.
Yes. Points for Moshe. Okay. So Rabbi Dr. Jack Cohen says on Torah Anytime, check him out yourself, TorahAnytime.com. He says that sometimes it happens that a couple won't feel chemistry. Why aren't they feeling chemistry, he says? Well, are they having meaningful, deep communications? Are they sharing their deep inner selves? Because if you don't have that meaningful type of communication and about yourself in a deeper way, and you can't share that with the other person, then it's hard to connect on a deep way, because everything then is really surface level. So he recommends setting time to do this, and having no distractions, no devices out, and that you should think about things that you're passionate about, that excite you, and you should prepare what you're going to say, what you're going to share. And if you're having a hard time, that you don't feel comfortable around this person to be able to share those deep feelings that you have yourself, then maybe it's just not a good fit, because you need to feel comfortable sharing that.
Reminds me actually of when we just started dating. I think we probably mentioned this like on episode 1 of Live from the Bunker. I don't think I ever spoke on the phone with a female before we started like dating. So I would literally have a list of things to like talk about in case like I would freeze up and not be able to get any words out. Like when we first met by the pickles and there were no words that came out. So
to avoid that in the future, we wrote lists.
And honestly, as the relationship deepens as well, but you go throughout the day, it's not a bad idea to kind of take a mental note or even a list of like, cool things that happened, not just mundane. It could be mundane things, but the way you were feeling. For some reason, my kid is blowing the shofar. I have no idea. We like we bribed them to like stay in their bed tonight. We like, if you stay in your bed, you will get chocolate tomorrow. And none of them, not one of them.
Actually, maybe one.
But almost none of them will be getting chocolate in the morning. I will get their chocolate in the morning. By the way, that's a nice hack. It's not great for the diet in general, but sometimes, my kids, in a moment of weakness, they'll come to me. They'll be like, if I give you this, will you let me eat one? I'm like, yes. And then like 5 kids do that, and then I have 5 chocolates. So that's a pretty gnarly deal.
Okay. So don't just share also what you did. That's a great idea. But also, what are your feelings about that? That's how you get a little deeper. And you have to know yourself and to be able to identify your own feelings first. And that's, especially now during this time in quarantine and Corona, it's a great time, as Rabbi Dr. Jack Cohen says, to really take time and get to know yourself. That's really important before you get to know another person. Okay. Next, we have a game for y'all. So we're really excited. This is the Newlywed-ish game that we're going to play. And we prepared some questions for each other. Who's going first?
I'm not sure. Okay.
Can you maybe just bring her over there? Thanks.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to ask the questions first or me? What do we do? I'll ask you.
Okay. First, we got to just go over the rules of the game. The first part is just mano a mano, like us, me versus her. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, and if that's Spanish or whatever language, but it's just one-on-one. Sarah versus Danny, right? It's just so two of us competing, going head-to-head. Then we need you guys to vote, like who does whatever, and you have to vote. For that, you can go ahead and just chat in, and whoever gets more of them right, I guess, wins. Okay?
But that's the second part.
That's the
For
second
the first part, though, if you can't figure out the answer,
yes,
then there's a lifeline. So I don't know that we're able to see Facebook comments, but for those on Zoom, you can comment and tell us what you think the answer is if we ask for a lifeline. Okay? And the lifeline or the other person, there's one lifeline and there's one multiple choice. So the other person can give multiple choice. We'll see if we need that or not. I don't know. Okay. Give me your question first, yeah?
we have the same questions, right?
No, we have a different one.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yours are on your paper.
My paper. Uh-oh. What?
Okay.
I know. Thanks.
Okay. Where's that paper?
Okay.
It might be with your answers. I don't want to say.
I think it's downstairs.
Do you remember your questions?
Yeah.
But you can look at your answers and answer my questions.
Okay.
Okay, we're being really careful here because we don't want to give it away by mistake.
Okay. Here we go. Oh,
Don't worry about them.
I can't multitask. It's impossible to multitask. I'm like, it's like a circus.
Go in the front or in the basement with
To
both
just
of them?
bring, take them away.
Thankfully,
Okay.
we have a
Ashley,
built-in
good night.
babysitter now.
I love you. You gotta go.
Where's the Remy? Follow up Remy. Okay. Well, we just gotta do that.
Okay, just plow through.
Okay, tell me the questions. Ask me the questions.
What would be my dream vacation spot?
Your dream vacation spot? I would say a cruise or Hawaii. Israel.
Israel. Okay.
Okay, yes, I know. I thought I was gonna get all of these right away.
Okay. Don't look. Okay.
Like this
You
is
looking?
easy. I know
Okay.
all of these. Okay.
Who is my favorite childhood rapper?
Oh my gosh. Wait, this is between Eminem and the dog. Who's the dog?
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Doggy Dogg. Wow, 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 wow. From the depths of the sea, back from the block. Snoop Doggy Dogg. Dr. Dre is out the block. Went solo on his, but it's still the same Long Beach to the spot where I started my cane. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, but don't lose.
Todd can't
Not
handle
Tuesday,
this.
or
He might
Tuesday,
just fall
Tamita.
asleep. Okay.
And I hold it nothing back. And it's like that. As a matter. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the top dog of them all? There was a shuffle duffle 5 minutes that lasted. Then said, "You are." You conceited jerk. Okay. Hashtag ask my rabbi. Thank you. Thank you. Nest. Okay. Kid Rock. Bah with the bah, the bang, diggy, diggy, diggy. Set the boogie. Set up, jump the boogie. My name is Kid. I went through a hard rock phase at that point. Yeah. Good call, Todd. Yeah. I liked Limp Bizkit, Bah with the Bah. TRL. They were number one. They competed. Bah with the Bah and did it.
Your time is short.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Woo. Sorry.
Okay, what's the next question?
No, you didn't answer. Yeah, you have to guess.
Oh,
My favorite rapper.
Obviously Snoop after all that.
Eminem.
That's not fair.
Eminem.
I said Eminem or Snoop, and then you started rapping about Snoop.
I've already rapped to them Eminem. It's like, how much more can they hear of that? It's not right.
That
Okay.
is so not
Fine.
fair.
She's 0 for 2, by the way. Okay, you can use the lifeline, by the way.
I
Okay.
didn't need a lifeline.
What is my favorite movie ever?
Dude, where's my car?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yay!
One time, a lady from Starbucks asked me if I wanted more venti. She kept saying, "Angan." What do you want from Starbucks? Angan. And I was like, "No more Angan." And then she gave me a venti for everything. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Next question.
What is my favorite book?
Your favorite book? Oh, I know this. Make time.
Ding, 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 ding. The Torah. I mean, not Jewish book, of course. Of course, the Torah is number one. Okay, and what is my biggest pet peeve?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Your biggest pet peeve is this the biggest one?
There's a lot.
Oh my gosh.
In my old age, you get to like your mid 30s ish, and you start getting a lot of pet peeves.
Okay, I can tell you it's
Yeah.
between the table, people not clearing their dishes, or garbage on the floor.
Yes.
Oh gosh, are
Which
they
one?
equal, or is one?
One is more. One is more.
People not clearing their dishes.
Ding 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 ding. Todd, she has 3. I kept score. She got 3 out of 5. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, next.
Okay. Now.
Okay, now I ask you.
Yes, me.
What is my favorite?
I should. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay.
You could ask.
No, you do it.
Okay. What is my favorite dinner to prepare?
It's either tofu or noodles. You like easy things, so I'm gonna guess noodles.
Where'd it go? Here. Okay,
The
wait.
suspense is killing me. Oh my gosh. What does that say?
Chinese.
Chinese.
Stir fry.
Ah!
Tofu.
0 for 1. Oh man.
Okay. I made it for myself for Mother's Day. Okay. Number 2. What is my ideal vacation?
Cleveland or Israel? I'm gonna go with Israel. Eat Chinese food someone else made. Oh, that means like go to New York and go to the yummy Chinese
Or
restaurants.
Seattle. We have yet to go to Seattle.
Okay, I am 0 for 2. Wow.
Okay.
We do still have a blissful, beautiful, happy relationship, even though I clearly.
I think that's important to know that like you're not the same person, and you don't want to be the same person. Okay, number 3. What is my favorite book? Isn't that?
Lifeline. I'm asking a lifeline. Anyone here? Moshe thinks the Torah. Girls at the Nest or Rachel, Alex, Todd, anyone? I need a lifeline. Dude, where's my car? Any relationship book? I should know this.
Circle, arrow, spiral.
Yes. Yes.
Will you
Yes.
marry me?
Circle, arrow, spiral is
I
what
love
I'm going to
that
go
you
with.
guys know that I quote
Circle,
those all the time.
Arrow, spiral. That is my final answer.
My favorite book is
Amuna with Love and Chicken Soup. I knew that. I forgot about that book.
This is a biography about Henny Machlis. Oh, I love that book.
It's a
It's
great
like
book.
it was so big, and I finished it. It was because it was so
Okay.
good.
You know I still love you, even though I don't know anything about you.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
Okay. Last
We're
question.
married. The reason we're doing this game, by the way, is we're coming up on our 14-year anniversary next December.
Okay. What is my most favorite question for you to ask me?
How can I help you, dear?
Oh wait, that wasn't the last one, but yeah. What can I do to help?
Ding, 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 ding.
I like how you said it even better. Okay, last one. What was, when I used to watch movies, what was my favorite movie?
Legally Blonde.
Ding, ding.
Very nice. Okay, so she won 3-2. Okay, I feel better. I had a nice rally. Okay, so now the next game is where we need your. Alex loves that movie. Yeah, it's a great movie. Sarah's favorite, and it's a really, really good movie.
Is it possible you left your sheet in the office? Because I think our hoop questions are on
Oh,
that sheet.
it might be on this sheet that we printed.
You can pick it up.
I do. Maybe not. Probably not. Okay.
No.
Who's the? No, that's
Okay,
not
we'll
it.
just wing
No,
it.
no. Let's just take over for a few minutes. Rami, you want to move ST somewhere?
We're here. This is just part of life, you know, that sometimes things come up and they don't go exactly how you want. And you just have to be flexible. So thanks for being flexible with us. You want to take this and color? You want to color on my paper? Yeah? Where's your orange color box that says SD on it? I don't know. Okay. Legos. Okay. Okay. For the next part of the game, we're going to ask who is this or that. Okay. So we each have a little sign. And you got it? Awesome. We each have a little sign to vote who we vote for. Okay. And we're going to see who gets it right.
All right. Please have your on Facebook too. We can't see you yet. We'll learn how to monitor you on Facebook and see what what y'all are saying, but please, hands on the keyboard, ready to to answer.
Okay.
Wow. Whew. That's a good workout. Okay. Okay, fine. So we got to get our little cards and just indicate in the chat your answer. I'm going to pull it up so we can see on Zoom.
Should we not see each other's answers?
Maybe we'll close our eyes at first. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Who is the better cook? Ready, go. Sarah. Sarah. We all agree? Everyone agrees. I am offended to everyone on Zoom. You never even have my food. So
The challenge.
minus nachos. My nachos, by the way, they're way better. But in general, she is. Okay, good. Good. Okay. So that means we're still tied. Okay. I can catch up to her in her competition, though, if I get one right, that you all agree with me.
Okay.
And she doesn't. Okay. Ready? Who is more neat and organized? 1, 2, go. Danny. Rabbi, good. Sarah, Danny, Rabbi, Sarah. I believe I won that one. What do y'all say? We got to do a little. This was, I forgot where we started. Maybe here. 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4. Tie. Okay. You're still up by 1.
That we each think it's
It's
the
us.
neat one,
Yeah.
right? It's the
Okay.
other ones who made the mess.
Okay.
It's always that way.
Who was more?
Can I just say for a sec?
Yeah.
When Danny was out of town on a trip or something, it's very easy when something's like a mess or a right to be like, oh, why did Danny leave that there? Why, like in my head only, obviously. But when he's out of town, I'm like, oh my gosh, it must have been me. So.
Very good.
Okay.
Who was more popular in high school? 1, 2, go. Okay. Everyone seems to be in agreement. It was me.
Okay. Next.
Next. Okay. Who is more athletic? Okay.
I knew that I was. I'm just so happy you agreed with me.
Yeah. Okay. But we need to keep, guys, hands on keyboards. I don't believe anyone's been voting. So let's get back at it. Okay. We need the votes. Who is more stylish?
Aw.
Wow.
I thought for sure
Okay.
too.
I thought it used to. Well, it is probably me, but you taught me everything I know, so that's why I said it's you. Okay.
It's like, have you ever taught someone a game and
Oh.
then?
Oh, you guys have been voting. Oh my gosh.
Oh, we just didn't scroll down.
We didn't scroll down. Oh, okay. So a lot of people are thinking Sarah's the more stylish one.
It's
That's
like
okay.
if you teach someone a game and they beat you at it, you're a really good teacher, and that means they're also really good at the game.
Very good. Beautiful.
What's so funny, Paulina? Thanks for sharing.
I'm reading the chat.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Who spends more time on their phone?
Classic.
We can actually see, by the way, because with the beautiful
Is there
iPhone
screen time?
Let's see.
Sometimes
Time,
it's
love.
the kids on my phone. That doesn't count. In fact, I do have my phone now because they brought
Let's
it back
just.
to me. I've already just had a 30-minute Zoom on my phone.
Okay, still. We'll subtract 30 minutes. We'll still get you,
Fair
okay?
question.
We'll subtract 30 minutes.
I don't know how to even check.
Go to settings, screen time. Oh, okay. I'm not happy
I
with
don't
mine
even
today.
know how to find
I'm
my
at
phone.
247. You're at 458. Okay, subtract your little 30 minutes. I still win.
I'm 11% down from last week.
Very nice. Me too. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Nice. Okay, I win that one. So we're now tied, sir. Okay. Who? I
I'm
have
still
two
not
more.
sure about that.
A couple more. Who's the better driver? Okay.
Agreed.
Everyone agrees on that. Yes. Yep. I am the better driver. Okay.
Wait,
By the way,
faster or safer?
both. No, I'm safer. I'm safer. We have this thing for insurance. You put it on your phone, and it's an app, and you save money. And Sarah logged in on my name, and she ruined my score. I had a perfect score, and then she ruined it. Okay. Who is more likely to cry at a wedding? Yes, Sarah is more likely to cry at a wedding. Who is more likely to cry on a rom-com?
What's a rom-com?
Romantic comedy.
Right.
I am. Everyone agrees I am. Okay. I'm winning. And finally, who opens the refrigerator more times in one day? Last question.
Wait. For themselves, not including the kids' needs.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
ready, set, go.
Yeah. Very nice. I'm kind of offended that was basically unanimous, but that's okay. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. That does it for this part of the Kind of Newlywed game. Thank you for your participation.
Okay, so next, really exciting, we have a new feature. You want to put our banner up?
Yes, a new feature.
A new feature is we are doing Humans of JuPro. We're interviewing JuProers about awesome things because really you guys are all awesome and you have so much to share and so much light that we want to share and so much to learn from. So tonight we're so honored to have our guest and our neighbor, Rachel Trout. She is going to be our interviewee for Humans of JuPro. Rachel is an EMT and she actually works at a mobile urgent care. So Rachel, welcome.
We're gonna on Zoom. We're gonna go ahead and have you look at what we're looking at so you can see her. Rachel, can you speak so make sure we can hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm gonna make you nice and loud. Okay, give me 1 sec. And then I'm gonna try to make it so the screen gets bigger somehow. Maybe I don't know how to do that. Okay, I'll hold up you really close. I guess. You guys can kind of see. Talk loud.
Yeah. There we go. Oh.
She's on Zoom also.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah. Are you on Zoom also?
Yeah.
No, she's on there.
So,
No.
okay, fine. Okay, so what is a mobile urgent care? Can you just explain that to us?
Yeah. So we basically, it's an EMT and a provider, so either a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner, and we drive to people's houses and do healthcare in their home. And our main goal is to keep people out of the ER. So we see a lot of patients who would either need to go to an urgent care or the emergency room, and we try to keep them out of both of those places and in their home.
Very cool. Awesome. And Rachel, how did you decide to be an EMT? Why was that what you wanted to do?
My end goal in life is to be a doctor, and I wanted to get some medical experience. And so I figured a job as an EMT would be a good place to start.
Awesome. Awesome. So what's different in what you've been doing since COVID-19 started?
Pretty much our entire everything changed. We have a whole bunch of new protocol just as far as like protective equipment, protective gear, how we clean our cars, how we clean our office, how we clean all of our equipment. We carry the test, so we have to be very careful about when we test someone and then go see another patient that we're not bringing anything from the house that we were at previously. So yeah, a lot of cleaning, a lot of just being super cautious, a lot of hand washing. And we're also just seeing a lot more high acuity patients who are trying their best to stay out of the hospital, and we're trying our best to keep them out of the hospital. So we're just seeing a lot more sicker patients right now, but they're not sick from COVID, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. So it's really changing a lot of what you're doing.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay. Mommy, do you feel at risk or in danger anyway because of what you're doing?
I wouldn't say that I feel in danger, no. We have a lot of protective gear, and we are very smart about what we're doing, and I don't feel like our company would put us in a situation where we were ever purposely in danger. I feel like they're taking really good care of us and making sure that we're doing all the right things to be protected and be smart and still take care of our patients.
Yeah. Did you ever imagine something like this happening when you decided to go into medicine?
I mean, I guess it's never something that I like sat down and thought about, but it kind of comes with it. I feel like new viruses and new things appear all the time. I don't know. I never really thought about it, but it's definitely pretty cool to be learning a lot right now and seeing how this is being handled. So.
Yeah. Based on your opinion and what you see, do you feel like we should continue to just stay at home, or really it is okay to put masks and wash our hands?
I don't know if I have enough knowledge to be able to say either way. I think it's really important that no matter what, people just need to keep being smart about washing their hands, staying safe, trying to be as smart as possible, and also just like, if you're sick, stay home, that kind of thing. But I don't know really the science about if we need to be staying inside of our homes and quarantining and everything. Just, I can't say either way.
Yeah, definitely a hard call to make. What's the most meaningful experience you've had in your role as an EMT?
Oh, that's a really hard question. Actually, I have this is a really crazy story, not from when I was an EMT, but from when I was a CNA, but it still has stuck with me as just like helping someone in medicine. When I was a CNA, which is a nurse's assistant, I worked in a nursing home, and one of my patients had Alzheimer's, and a really common symptom with Alzheimer's is just kind of repeating the same thing, even though they don't really know what they're saying. And this lady's thing was, she just kept saying, help me, I need help me, I need help me, I need help me, like continuously. And I noticed in her room that she had, I think, a Jewish book of some sort, and Passover was coming up at the time. And as she's like repeating help me to me, I just like looked at her and I was like, hey, Passover's next week. And it was just so crazy to see this woman who had like such late stage Alzheimer's all of a sudden be like, that's my favorite holiday. And she started talking about some of her favorite memories from Passover, and that's just always been a really crazy memory for me in medicine, to just for that moment to be able to give her that sort of memory, which was really cool.
Wow, that is beautiful.
And just one other question. You said your life goal is to become a doctor. How did you, I guess, come to that realization? You know, or what brought about that goal for you? Like, how did you realize that?
It initially started mainly just because I loved science growing up, and I like took anatomy and thought the human body was really cool, and everything about science always interested me. But as I started working as a CNA, working as an EMT, and kind of getting that patient contact, that's really what has driven me further and made me realize that is really something that I want to do, just because leaving a patient's house and knowing that you made their life better is a really good feeling, and I would like to do that for the rest of my life.
Amazing. Do you think this idea of the your type of urgent care, where you go to the home, is becoming more common these days, especially with the dangers of going out, would you say?
Our company specifically is definitely blowing up. It actually started in Denver, and now we're in like 18 markets across the nation. Wow. And it's just such a niche type of medicine to be able to take care of people in their homes, especially for patients who can't leave their home. It's really beneficial so that they don't have to call 911 and get transported by an ambulance for something minor that we can do in their home. So yeah, it is definitely getting bigger, and we're definitely making a difference, which is great.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Thank you for all you do and exposing yourself, to the risks you do to help people. It's very inspiring, and I know when we go howling out at 8:00 every night, we have you in mind. If you guys hear the howls, 8:00, in honor of the medical professionals. But thank you. It's very inspiring, for everything you do. And thank you. Thanks for your time. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So we'll see you soon. Take care. All right. Back here. And we are now up to the final part of our show. I'm going to just turn me around here on the Zoom. You guys are, sorry, I have to figure out how to unspotlight you. Sarah will do that. Okay. Sarah's going to, there it is.
I did this enough with the kids.
Oh, very good.
I got it.
But it's facing the wrong way now. But we'll do that. Cool. Okay. So in conclusion, the last portion of the new edition of Live from the Bunker is I have to give a shout out. I'm sure he's watching right now. He probably woke up at 6 a.m. to watch this. My uncle Herb. Uncle is the man. He writes for the Jerusalem Post, and he inspired me in many ways. One way he inspired me is that he has a thing in his house that whenever like divine wisdom comes down to him, so he just blurts out. He just announces to everybody life lesson, and everyone in the house is meant to like open up their ears like this. So I do this actually. I did it more at the beginning of the semester to the kids I teach. I wanted to bring this into life from the bunker. So we're calling this hashtag Rabbi Wisdom, where I will share one brilliant nugget of wisdom every week for you to think about. Sometimes it might be very simple. Sometimes it might be even deeper than you're capable of comprehending. This week, hashtag Rabbi Wisdom is don't play with fire. Mommy. Don't play with fire. And for anyone still in school, stay in school. Don't play with fire, stay in school. Tonight, yesterday, this past day, we had Lag BaOmer, where there's all sorts of bonfires and stuff. You got to be careful with that kind of stuff. Don't play with fire. I remember as a kid watching like the NBA All-Star games, and that is always what they said. Don't do drugs, don't play with fire, and stay in school. Those three things will, smart wisdom. So hashtag Rabbi Wisdom. Hope you enjoyed the Rabbi Wisdom. Hope you enjoyed everything else.
Just last announcement.
Yes, last announcement. We had this going before, but we do have a very special thing coming up Wednesday night. It's a Jew Pro virtual happy hour. I know everyone's upset we can't go to Impossible City and Proper City, whatever it's called, but we can do even better by meeting up in our living rooms. And the beer is free for Jew Pro. We're saving a lot of money.
Bring your own beer.
BYOB. So you should join us. We'll do a little trivia, and it should be a good time. So
be nice to connect all together.
Yes.
Play some games.
And yeah, again, so just to summarize, and if any questions come up, reach out after the show. But communication is very important. Kind of gave some, just some basic pointers, and it's definitely crucial. And one thing we didn't actually mention is the communication between us and God. God is, Judaism at its core is a relationship, and we're meant to have a deep relationship there as well, and to communicate. You need something, you ask for it. Yeah, that's about it, so I think we covered it all. Thank you all for bearing with us in this new format and joining.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you.
Have a beautiful night, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.